I am resident of Colorado for YouTube, Jules Sains. That is Jennifer. That is Patrick. That is Alan. We're here to talk some Dark Shadows. We're talking the kidnapping and escape of Maggie Evans, Sarah's ghost, the arrival of Dr. Julia Hoffman, who was supposed to be Dr. Julian Hoffman, as you can see with Alan's name. Um, Ladies
That's not
first.
my name. That's my name.
Right. Ladies first, Jennifer. What did you think of the kidnapping of Maggie Evans plot? Because for those who don't know, it's not like they ever said that before the kidnapping that Maggie resembles Josette. What did you think of that?
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of have always had a hard time watching that set of episodes because it's so well done and creepy. And my Dark Shadows experience, I first discovered it in the early '80s when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and
Yep.
like most people my age, I saw it in segments all over the place. So I don't think I saw this particular set of episodes until I got the box set,
Mhm.
and it's just those times when he's yelling at her and he puts her in the coffin, and it's intense. It's
Yeah.
very intense. And just that whole first scene at the inn where he goes in and gets the cup of coffee, and it's just and leaves his cane so she can bring it back. And I mean, it is so creepy. It is so well done.
It
He
is.
hires Sam to do his
I mean,
portrait.
Yeah,
it's
that too. She's in the house and her father's there, and then at one point she wanders back home in her gown, and then she disappears, and they don't believe Sam because they think he's been drinking again. And
Well, and he
yeah.
has. But
and he has. Yeah.
Uh, Alan, what did you think of the beginning of the kidnapping of Maggie?
Okay, I'm of a split mind about this. As a kid, I didn't see it. So
Right.
I didn't know this aspect of Barnabas until probably, when the MPI tapes came out. I mean, I probably caught a little bit of this storyline, but I didn't really get into it until right after this storyline when color sort of came in. That was the point at which I still have memories of the show. But as an adult, I looked at it and I went, how did they get away with this crap? I
Yeah.
mean, it's by today's standards, of course. Being if you're applying presentism to it, there's some problems with this. Um, but also, interestingly enough, this was the point at which Frid started to get enormous amounts of fan letters.
Mm.
So there was some kind of kink going on with the audience, I think, that maybe we don't think of when we think of
Mm.
this, at least in a fantasy version of a situation like this. Obviously, in real life, it's terrifying. Um, so as an adult, it's like, ah, and things for me don't. I mean, it's great to see a villain like that because I mean, it's totally intentional. And it's also great to see the way they scramble to sort of start to inject conscience into him here and there to try to perpetuate this character. But that hadn't really fully happened at this point in time. They only knew that they had something that was this
Yeah.
Dracula guy was really a big hit, and they hadn't really had a chance to unfold some of the other levels of his personality as much. Although Frid sort of gave them that open door by the way that he was performing the role. But yeah, it's you really feel for Maggie and you root for her. You're not rooting for Barnabas.
Mm.
I hope
Mm-mm.
you're not. At this point in time, he's a complete psychopath about this obsession that he's developed out of the coffin. And of course, that's one of the theories behind it is that he's just been driven insane by being in a coffin for so long.
really, he's gotten very determined.
Yes, he's incredibly determined. I'm going to live life my way, and I don't care.
Bad things happened.
And bad things happen. But yeah, there was a kind of a split thing. Like I said, I wasn't as aware of it as a kid, and then I became aware of it. And I'm going, my God, this. In one way, it's fascinating. How did they transform this guy from this And in another way, it's also like the greatest of the black and white Universal horror films. The way it's shot,
It's beautiful.
music, and all of that sort of thing. That aspect of the production aspect of it is
His
amazing.
makeup is so intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only Barnabas I knew for years, because my first episode I ever saw that I remember was when he was terrorizing David, and you saw the fangs in his dreams and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I saw very little, and then I saw House of Dark Shadows, and then I had a coworker who was older than me say, "Oh, he was the sympathetic vampire," and I was always like, "What are you talking about? He's horrible," because that's the Barnabas that I knew for years and years.
Yeah. That was the
Yeah.
Curtis intention. That
Yeah.
was, that was the intention from the beginning.
Yeah. Patrick, what did you think of the kidnapping of Maggie Evans?
Well, as you know, Vertigo is one of my favorite movies,
Mm.
and this is just
Yeah.
Vertigo. This is just
Yeah.
it's just the same damn story. I'm going to dress you up like her, and hopefully it'll work.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are just going to have to like set a timer or something, because I could talk about this section of the show for a long time. It is really important, and it's one of the most morally challenging pieces of television ever made. Because especially once you've seen the series, you know, who do you side with? You know, well, of course we're supposed to side with a kidnapping victim, right?
Yeah.
But then you know that Destin, you know, Barnabas is a once and future hero.
Yeah.
And then once you know the context of all of this, it's a lot weirder. But he has suffered a tremendous amount.
Patrick, if you can hear me, you're breaking up a bit, buddy.
Audio's breaking up a little bit.
Your audio is breaking up a bit.
But yeah, he's correct about the once and future aspect of the character from the perspective of having watched the show throughout its full arc and having the ability to go back to the episodes, look at them again like we're doing now, and sort of giving analysis to that. It's also an enormously transformative time in the series for the series itself. You know, outside of the stories that are being told. This is the period in time in which the series begins its takeoff. It's on the runway. It's getting ready to really take off at this point.
There's sort of two ways to look at this. The eyes of a horror fan, where you're intrigued about what Barnabas is doing, and then when I'm sitting there beside my wife, who at the time she watched Dark Shadows, Julie Sains was 24 years old. Okay, so now I'm 24. I've already watched Dark Shadows all the way through.
Right.
And Julie's watching Barnabas, and I said, "Do you mind that he's kidnapping her, choking her, and stuff like that?" And she goes, "No, I don't." I said, "Why?" She goes, "Because well, let me tell you why. Because he is completely handsome. He is drop dead."
See, that's the kink.
Julie just really likes him. You've mentioned that many times in many different episodes.
There is a kink factor. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
I've always found him creepy. I've never been able to see that. In real life, I see what a sweet man he was, but in the show, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
There's my Barnabas poster hangs literally over there, and every time Julie Sains walks past it, she blows it a kiss. She goes, "Hi, handsome."
My gosh.
J-Dog in the house. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, great. You're back 100%.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So as I was saying, So, you know, I mean, we know that Barnabas is a guy who's been through supernatural hell. He has seen life do unbelievable things. If you want to talk about unspeakable horror, he's participated in it reluctantly, but moreover, he has seen it perpetrated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Maggie, I know you're having a rough day. You want to talk about a rough day? Let's talk about some really rough days. 1795. Okay, let's start with Jeremiah, and let's walk you through everything that happened after that. Oh, you're kidnapped. Oh, you had to spend a night in a coffin. Spend a night in a coffin. I had to spend 200 goddamn years in a coffin. You know, so, where's your deliverer now, Moses? Here he is. And so, I think, Jewel, remember that time we were on that road trip and you ate those crystals? And we had to deprogram you to eat like this again, and how rough we got?
Wasn't that? Yeah. Wasn't that a Gonzo journalism book? Yeah,
What?
I thought it was.
But no, have you ever seen how tough cult deprogrammers have to be?
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
maybe not have to be, but have convinced themselves they have to be.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I think Barnabas is dealing with. I think, once you've seen the show, because it's a totally different show the second time through.
Yeah. Retrospect. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because for one thing, the story begins in 1795. Because it's
Yeah.
ultimately, this is Barnabas' story. It's not Vicky's.
Right.
And so Barnabas' story begins in 1795. So if you look at it that way, you have seen who he is prior to all of this. He is determined. He's come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and he's all out of bubblegum. And the thing that was most violently taken from him was any opportunity he thought for happiness with Josette. And by God, he's got it back, and he's not going to let anything get in his way. I think that's an important thing to consider. I think the other thing to consider is that vampirism has been a curse up to this point. It's really interesting when he says, you know what, to hell with it, I'm going to use it to my advantage. And he does. And he does. That's an interesting moment.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, we've lost transmission once again. I'm sure we'll
Yes,
be established shortly.
yeah.
the only
He'll
thing
be
is
back.
that we don't know all that from
That's
1795
right.
as
We don't, at
much.
this point, we don't know this, and it
Yeah.
hasn't even been developed in the minds of the writers yet.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, it's an interesting. I think it's a great, interesting exercise. So
I am not a merry man.
it's okay. You're back.
Yeah. So anyway, I have a real challenge with that. Not that I would necessarily do those things. I think Barnabas probably in the back of his mind believes he's something like in Calderon's Life is a Dream or in the Matrix, something like that. That that this is some bizarre simulation that has been designed by Angelique to test his metal, drive him crazy, or something like that. His time, like you mentioned, leaving the cane and doing the picture, like having posing for the portrait. For one thing, these are like schemes from Happy Days.
Yeah.
Or
This is
Scooby Doo.
He's
This is
smooth.
what Ralph Mouse would have come up with.
Yeah.
It's like
Speaking of
Jeremiah
creepy,
told me
right,
about
Ralph
the
Mouse.
old cane trick. You go back and get it, and that's how you start a conversation with a lady.
Yeah.
Because that's really what he's doing. This is a sitcom trick. And think of Barnabas having a pose for this portrait. What's he going to do with it? Shave into it? I mean, because he doesn't have a mirror. It's a pointless vanity.
Yes.
He's got bigger things to do, but it's like, okay, your father's a painter. Okay, I'm glad he's not an ice sculptor.
Right.
So okay. Honestly, I could use a painter. I need 2 coats in the guest room, but because Loomis ain't doing it.
Yes.
I tried
He's not
Flemish
painting
bar.
inside the lines.
Yeah. I mean, tried
Well, he's got to light all those blue candles.
That didn't work. I got a whole explanation of the blue candles. So anyway, I think he has really been a patient, almost sitcom like guy. And finally he just snaps. It's like it's too much. It's too much. I'm gonna just take the gloves off. I don't think any of this is real to begin with. God only knows what there's probably a fever dream inside the coffin. And I think it's after that. It's after that. It's after, Maggie is found and all the other. It's really after Maggie vanishes
Yeah.
and I think she's dead. And it's like, oh, maybe this wasn't a simulation.
Mhm.
What have I done? I think that's. I told you, Barnabas. I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to keep telling me. Yes, I know. I got the problem. I read the attachments, Willie.
That's a whole other, course correction is talking about the conscience of Willie developing,
Yeah.
and then it's developing on behalf of Barnabas. It's like he's transferring it, trying to transfer it to Barnabas. But yeah, there is definitely that sort of stress fracture of the mind happening with the character. There's no doubt about that, and it makes total sense. And also part and parcel of the curse is all of these other conflicting desires that are happening, and just kind of popping out there, ready to go.
Yeah.
And it is kind of lunacy for him. Oh, I'm going to live the life I never had. Well, I don't know. You can quite do that just at night, but go for it.
It's very sad when he says that. It's like, okay, Barnabas, we'll have
Yeah.
it. It's not
Yeah.
good.
It's yeah.
You need
You're
to figure
gonna-
this out on your own. So we're
Yeah.
gonna play along.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
you can when I did get my wife's first perspective of this, I could see why women were completely infatuated with Barnabas. Because when I asked Julie, I said, "What would you do if you were Maggie?" She goes, "I'd say, bite me, baby, turn me into your bride." What do you mean?
Okay.
What would I do?
So this is a dark Cinderella story.
Yeah.
I mean, Maggie is this waitress with this alky dad, no mom. And this is not really the pop. Oh, isn't he adorable? This is just like Sam Loomis, or what was his name? Sam Evans. At his just drunken fat guy chasing Nancy Baird on the set, and this is like great. This is my home life. This is what I come home.
This is the undercurrent, the reality of the situation at the studio at this time.
I'm sure she's been to college. She probably went to like Antioch or Bard or Emerson and got some weird degree she designed herself. Totally useless. Has had to come back because she had to have some qualification to teach the kids.
Yeah.
And so she's bitter about this degree she can't use, and so she's slinging pie, and things at Collinwood maybe are getting a little better. I don't know. Liz is talking to people now. She can come in the house. She's allowed to use the towels, but it still is not great. And so, what does she have? As repellent as it often is she is treated like a princess, kind of.
Wealthy eccentricities.
Except when he's putting her in gunny sacks and forcing her to sleep in coffins. But other than that, she's treated like a princess. She is destined to be a form of royalty. She has someone who's interested in her, who doesn't, come home every night smelling like shellfish and cools. And Joe Haskell. Yeah, okay.
I'll take Joe Haskell.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
But we know where that's.
He's the normal guy that can't survive because he's too damn normal.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just say this. Joe, nice guy. She's also bored out of her mind.
Well, there's a bit of that going on.
Sure. So, Joe Haskell is not Joel Crothers. I think that's what we have to countenance is the Joel Crothers. Interesting guy. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
But so it's this dark Cinderella story, and I think one of the reasons why so many people love Dark Shadows is it's the case of the man pining over this woman, and I mean he's really very admirably queeny in the way he's preparing for the wedding. He's really into this. I mean, who wouldn't want their partner to take them so seriously, they would go through the fineries of those things. That's really pretty
Yes,
cool.
but alas, like Liza, she's bound to be disappointed.
Sure, sure, yeah. With a zzz. So that's what we've got, and I yeah, I get why women often respond, especially that first demographic that of these honestly either neglected or abused housewives.
You're talking about the '60s when women were more domestic in
Yeah,
their opportunities.
yeah.
Yeah, '50s and '60s, sure.
Yeah. Here's a hypothetical question for you guys, because we see Sarah Collins assist Maggie Evans in her escape, and Willie tells Barnabas, "Hey, there's this kid outside. I told you to keep that young David." No, it's a little girl, and he's like, "Are you sure? There's no little girls around here. Why?" Okay, we see Josette assist heavily in the Phoenix arc, assist heavily with the demise of Matthew Morgan.
Sure, she's kind
Why?
of David's protector and so on.
So why doesn't Josette prevent the release of Barnabas?
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know.
we are attempting to do that because there's a presumption of omniscience that I think we need to challenge.
Yeah, because we challenge that in the character of Sarah, because she appears at once to be knowledgeable about what's going on, and at the same time appears to be back when she was still alive sometimes, where memories are only that. So we can you can definitely challenge. There's a precedent for that, no doubt. And also, things are happening so fast, and you've got this incredibly powerful obsession coming out of Willie Loomis to do these things, to that, and he is not part of the Collins family. He doesn't have. There's not a close connection, spectral connection to some of the ghosts that live around there, primarily being Josette at that time. So it's okay to be inconsistent about your protection when you don't know what's happening all the time.
My theory is that Sarah has a pretty good bead on what's going on in the supernatural world. She gets the paper. She knows what's going on. Because so Angelique exists, I think, occasionally in the realm of death. That she's hovering in and out of those things. She knows about. I'm sure she knows about Quentin. She knows about Judas Zachary. When she's talking about the angry ghosts, she could very easily be talking about them.
Yes, she could be. Absolutely. That's again. I think there's levels of awareness and consciousness that are on different planes with her, because she would know Angelique from life. That would be a strong.
Yeah, I mean, why did she disappear after 365? Because Judas destroyed her.
Right.
He got tired of her interference. Why is she, trying to do all this befriending Vicky? Why does she send Vicky through time, perhaps burning out the last bit of ectoplasmic energy in her battery to do it?
Well, it may have been ultimately what she was there to do.
Yeah.
In order to explain everything, in order for everything to be explained.
Because Vicky has to be ready to deal with Angelique. She's the outsider. She's the only one. Because Carolyn's an idiot, and Joan Bennett is emotionally shattered.
Carolyn's also compromised at this point too. She's a thrall.
Yeah. And Roger got rid of the fireplace poker set after he kind of got a feeling for what happened. And it's like, okay, Liz, I think
no more poking.
You're going to accuse me of cheating at Scrabble, and it's going to be a bad night for me. Fireplace poker set's going away. So that's I think maybe what Sarah's anti-involvement is. But she can't foresee Willie Loomis.
No, it's true.
She knows Angelique's going to come back. She does not know. because Angelique's alive, sort of. She's Cassandra-ing around. She's getting fitted for wigs in Logansport.
That's right. She's getting ready to take those classes at Collinsport Community College.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah was there matriculating, and there she was across the hallway. So I think that's one of the big things that was happening. But she can't foresee Willie Loomis.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a thing. So that's
no previous connection, no spiritual or intellectual connection previous to him just showing up.
Even those humans, I mean, they're wild cards.
What did you think of Maggie's escape through we talked about the sets, how there's a Sloan tunnel, Barnabas is chasing her. What did you think of that? Jennifer first.
Oh, it again, terrifying. And then, she finally gets out. She's on the beach and you're like, "Oh, she's made it." And then all of a sudden you see his footsteps, you see the cane, you see him, and did you think you're going to be able to get away from me? And then she starts with the screaming, which is also just so chilling and so well done.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, there's Dad,
Yes.
Sam, watching her or hearing her and goes to her rescue. And I love Barnabas goes and hides and's watching from behind the rocks. And
the audience finally gets a sense of release at that moment.
Yeah.
I remember feeling that, sure.
Alan?
Being a theater person, I was just fascinated with the way they put those sets together. And I'm going, let's see, did they do a straight line halfway down the studio and then maybe a double back? Or did they do a snake through the middle of the studio so they would have enough room for this set or this set? And it's like, because it seems like it goes on and on and on forever. It's a great design, incredibly well lit, and everything that needs to be to seem like it just goes on for miles, basically. And really, it is chilling. It's also like it just puts you right on the edge. It's like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? It fulfills its function really well.
Nancy Barrett got trapped in that during lunch and didn't escape.
That's
they
right.
They left the studio and she's just going, let me out.
Still going in the rabbit warren. Yes. Side, where's the exit?
Nancy Barrett, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I liked Harry Dean Stanton's guest appearance because he had the map that told him what mines were.
But he doesn't care.
And then she takes the rope up to the top of Widow's Hill, and she's got the machine gun. Duke of New York is number one. That was terrific.
If only.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. Oh my god. Yeah. It's one of the best chase sequences in DS history. It really is.
It's so slow. It's just like this stunning thing happening. It's great. It's not a high-speed chase, that's for sure. But it's part and parcel of that's practicality of getting the cameras in place from the various angles. But they did.
I do think it would have been great if at one point she's wandering by craft services.
and they're like, oh no, you're supposed to stay covered in the black cloth.
Sadie, over here. I just wanted a Danish. Joan wouldn't let me have it, but she's not on this episode.
Yes.
So, somebody frisbees a Danish by her head.
And the deadly Danish.
And she's like, bye. She eats the Danish, and she escapes him.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
It's a video game and a drama.
Yes. You hear like the suspenseful like Bowser music, and though it hasn't been fucking made yet, why not? Oh shit! Oh my god! That'd have been classic. But yeah, I think they do a really good job with the lighting is right. I mean, it's black and white. You got the
Oh, it's
and yeah,
perfect.
you have Jennifer's right. When you see the footsteps of Barnabas, did you think he could
Mhm.
escape me? Sam is not drinking, but he looks like he's wandered to
Oh,
at the
he's hung
beach.
over to the gills.
Yeah.
Really. You know,
Yeah,
that's why it's taken him so long to actually find her.
And Sam's not drinking. David Ford, on the other hand, you know,
yeah. The ghost, Sarah's ghost in the fact that Sarah's ghost comes to him when he's painting. Hey, you gotta go to Maggie's at the beach. You gotta go get her. You got what? Like, I didn't stutter. God damn it! That's what I want her to
Go.
say.
That's right. Put the bottle down.
it's as good as when they're trying to get David to tell where Matthew Morgan is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And they're gonna punish me. Davey, nobody's gonna punish you. And I imagined after a while, it's Burke who's like beating the crap out of David, and Roger's like, no, hold back. He knows where he is, Roger. He knows where he is.
Tell us where he is. Damn it.
Oh, shit. So the first time we hear mention of Dr. Hoffman, they mention him as a man. And you see Alan's name is Dr. Julian Hoffman. And they were going to call him that, by the way. That was going to be his name, Dr. Julian Hoffman. But we get a sex change. Every way. It's Dr. Julia Hoffman and it's Grayson Hall who plays her. Guys, how big of a deal? Because we know how big the character's going to be, but how big of a deal is this at the time? You think?
Pretty big. Pretty big. I mean, I don't know if there are many female characters like Julia Hoffman on TV
No.
at this time at all.
Certainly very few in daytime. I mean,
Yes.
that kind of made kind of person that's has natural curiosity, natural suspiciousness. She can be cold and precise and sees through other people's stuff and is already starting to become what they wanted her to be initially, was a Van Helsing character. So that's, you can see all of that sort of developing, but she's very different. She's within herself. She's not allowing people inside. It's like, okay, this is a secret I'm going to explore, and nobody else is coming in with me because I'm going to be the one who makes the discovery. So get out, and literally that's how she is.
That Nobel Prize ribbon isn't big enough for two necks.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because she refuses to tell her classmate, Dr. Woodard, who what she knows.
Yeah.
And it's like she's got ice water in her veins when you first see her, because she's just, she doesn't want them to go visit Maggie, but then she allows it, and she says something like, sometimes emotions get in the way, but they're not going to get in the way for her.
Right.
And it's kind of amazing when you see her then, and knowing what we know in the future of how she transforms and how her feelings that she ends up having for Barnabas. But she is very serious and very cold in that first time you see her.
But who's the more ruthless kidnapper?
Seriously, she has her has her motivations. Certainly aren't all altruistic in terms of thinking of Maggie first. That's another change in the character that happens later, of course. But she's incredibly ambitious too. She wants to figure out what this thing is.
That's the thing too. Like she takes the risk and takes Maggie to the graveyard. It's like, and Barnabas and freaking Victoria's like sees them, like
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about.
Of course, she has a built-in excuse. I'm her doctor. I'm trying to break her, amnesia, blah, blah, blah. What she's trying to do is find out, okay, what's the source of all this malarkey? I want to know who's responsible,
Yeah.
Because this dude has got some wacky saliva. Because, there's stuff in there that I've never seen.
Barnabas did it. Your crush. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
It's a great Van Helsing setup, and of course that's another thing that has to be altered and changed with the growing popularity of the show, and the relationships that are in the show when it's becoming popular includes Dr. Julia Hoffman.
I'm sorry, he'd give you a run for your money.
Wait,
If I was whatever back then.
Hold on. Wait. Now, Julie,
What?
Julie, come here. If you were Maggie Evans, and Bart,
Forget freaking Bert Devlin or whatever. I'd go Bart.
say, I don't have.
There it is.
See?
There it is.
There you go. There you go, kids. There you
Confirmed.
go, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
There you go. There you go. There you go. See, and she just got home from work too. So
Yeah. That girl works some hours.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, she does. She went in it too. So, like,
Sorry, cat.
Alan said you work some hours.
2 to 10:30.
Yeah, 2 to 10:30. There you go.
Mhm.
12:30.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I stocked the kitchen, and I took stuff from the cooler and filled the kitchen twice, and then I refilled it before I left. I refilled the cooler.
There you go.
And
There you go.
Megan, and never ever let you forget you're a man because you know.
And let's pause and see how far the show, or just think about how far the show has come since the days of the pen. Remember the pen? This isn't exactly a filigree
There you
pen.
go.
Yeah.
There you
Gonna
go.
make you tear up.
I don't know. But
You've come a long way,
but
baby.
that's the thing too. You have the fact that Julia Hoffman.
He's getting it.
What's he doing?
He's talking to Julie, I think. Yeah, he's talking to Julie. They're consulting.
What is
She
that?
just got home, so.
Looks like he has a rifle.
I think that's part of
No,
his
that's the
microphone.
armature of his microphone, I
Oh.
think. That's the armature. Thank goodness for that. Yes, it's a rifle.
It's a very dark turn on Resident Evil.
But I would imagine at that time there were probably no female doctors in soaps. General Hospital had Jessie Brewster.
Yeah.
She was a nurse.
There might have been one on The Doctors, because that show was
Oh, that's right.
loaded with
Yes,
doctors.
you're right. There was.
But no show
I
had
forget her
the
name.
original foe of Barnabas Collins, and that's what she turns out to be.
Yeah.
For a brief time, she is the foe of Barnabas Collins, and then they have an uneasy alliance until she falls in love with him.
Julie, you're muted.
You're still muted, Jewel.
I'm not.
Hey,
sorry.
There you go.
I'm not. That's Dr. Woodard even says, I'm not shocked that you have an attraction for Barnabas. So, I mean, he picks up on that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Makes me
And
wonder
she
what
doesn't
sort of
want to talk
guy-
about it.
No.
what sort of
And
guy
that,
was she dating in medical school.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes you wonder if they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were maybe a thing in first year or something. Who knows?
Her boyfriend was Hannibal Lecter.
Why not?
Time's
Why
out.
not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not? Oh my God. Is there anything anybody wants to add before we get on out of here? At all?
This is an arc that's taking place during a very transformative phase in the show. There are several of these arcs and several transformations of the show that happen, and this is definitely one of them. We're going to start moving away from the Dracula aspect of Barnabas a little bit, although it will still pop up every now and then, as we know. But we're going to start to move away from it into something that's more like, why is he like this? But yet he's guilty. He feels guilty, and this sort of dynamic and this inner tension starts to happen a lot more. And Sarah's kind of one of the responsible factors of that, but also Hoffman offering a solution or a possible solution to his problem is another possible factor. But they still have to deal with the whole Maggie thing, so he keeps going back and forth. Yes, you must be eliminated, blah blah blah, and all that sort of thing in order to. But it's a tension at this point.
Yeah.
It's not just he's just moving forward with this sort of thing. So it's really a good. Don't bite my toes, my dog. It's a forward force right now towards that transformation.
And that first color episode where she wanders into the blue whale and is found again I love watching that.
It's
I love
awesome.
watching Jonathan Frid's eyes are just excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fantastic thing. And again, it's like, by this time the audience is going, oh, is he going to be discovered? We don't want him to die. Because there are other things going on. So yeah, it's great. It's that episode is loaded. It's great.
Mm-hmm. And too, when he goes to the hospital and to see how she's doing, like, how did you find out she was here? Oh, everyone's talking about it, and oh, she's dead. And did she tell anyone? No.
Yes, that's right.
It's a great cover story by Woodard.
Yeah.
It's a great cover story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's one of the best covers. It's the best cover story to pull out of someone's ass. Like, yeah, she's dead. She's dead.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a great way to buy time to find this stalker, this maniac, as Barnabas self-references. So it's a great way to buy time.
Yeah.
There's no spit take. There's no double take.
No.
And that's what's missing.
I know.
Yeah,
She did.
That's it. This has been a fun discussion, guys. This has been fun. So link to Patrick McCrae's Dark Shadows Day Book and Bound is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel. Colin's Port After Dark is going to be in the description box. Jennifer, would you like to come back next week? Next Saturday?
Possibly, if I can.
Okay.
I'd be traveling, so I'll have to see.
Okay, well, travel.
But I would. If not next week, another time.
Yeah, or not next week, but in a couple weeks we'll bring you back. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. It was great bringing you back.
Well, thank you.
My God, this is just craziness. Dark Shadows is a lot of fun to discuss.
It is.
And listen, if I do come to the 60th anniversary of this whole Dark Shadows, I'll just bring Julie Sands and we'll put her in front of Jonathan Frid portrait, and she'll be the one that security has to be like, ma'am, you have to go sit down. I'm admiring Jonathan. That's what that would be. My God. You guys have a great night.
Well, he was on teen magazine covers, so I mean, I don't know.
Yes. We'll have to discuss what we'll discuss tomorrow. You guys can pick a topic.
Cool.
It'll be you guys can pick a topic.
Awesome.
Good night, guys. Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Pleasure.
Take care.